This is a synopsis of what happened that day, and this may be hard for some people to read, so I want to first offer a trigger warning. This will be talking about someone's attempt to unalive themselves. This is directly related to the Justice for Vaughn Facebook group and the uncovering and exposing of what's going on with Dre, his wife. Okay, now all of this is alleged. This is not. This is also the firsthand account narrative by the police officer. So this is what we have to go on. As I had spoke before, we cannot go on Dre's account because she is not reliable. In my opinion, she's not reliable. In my opinion, she's not trustworthy. I want to make sure this is very clear to everybody. Now, these are my opinions. I am reading this along with you guys, and I am going to give you my opinion. But from the beginning, I did not believe that Dre was trustworthy. As soon as I got wind of what was happening, Gigi reached out to me. Shout out to her. As soon as I got information, I knew that she was not trustworthy. All right, so here we have the synopsis. So I'm going to read this. Once again, I'm going to offer a trigger warning for those who do not want to read about this. This is the unaliving attempt of someone that will be described in here. And this is the firsthand account by the police officer who arrived on the scene that day. Okay, so the synopsis says, on 5/23 at approximately 08:2800 hours, Marvon McCray attempted suicide by hanging himself in his side yard shed located. Now that is redacted. His wife, Andrea McCray, stated M. McCray was, and this is redacted, and they had a disagreement that day, the day prior. M. McCray also suffers from, this is both redacted, and M. McCray was transported to Yuma Regional Medical Center for further evaluation. M. McCray was later flown to the Veterans Hospital in Tucson. This report is for information only. Now I'll give some additional information. The additional officers that were either at the scene arrived at the scene later on. Digital media, body-worn camera footage has been captured and submitted into the Yuma Police Department. Digital Evidence Management System, the DEMS. Human memory and perception have limitations, and video evidence may depict events differently than the report writer perceived during the event or recalled at the time of writing this report. The report writer did not review the video in whole or in part before writing this report. So it's important to note that this report was written before the officer reviewed any sort of body camera footage. So this is all based on their firsthand account, their memory, their perception as they arrived on the scene and throughout the scene. Okay, this is a domestic relationship. Marvon McCray and Andrea McCray have been married for approximately 8 years, live together, and have children in common. We know that they have one son in common, and he has stepped up as a father figure for her two daughters who were from a previous relationship. Once again, the evidence that was collected was a rope. Injuries noted: Marvon McCray had an abrasion to his left arm and was on a ventilator at the Yuma Regional Medical Center. Narrative. Now, this is important. So on 5/23, at approximately 8:28, Officer Reed and I were dispatched to 5483 East 30th Place in reference to an attempted suicide. Per the call notes, Andrea McCray found her husband, Marvon McCray, hanging in their shed. Andrea McCray cut her husband down and began CPR. Upon arrival, I noticed the residence was on the south side of the 30th Place in Canal Avenue. Yuma Fire Department was already there and going towards the east side of the property where a gate was to enter the backyard. There was a shed immediately to, and we're going to the other page here. This is page 4. There was a shed immediately to the east. After entering the east gate, inside the shed, I noticed a black male in the center of the shed. The male was wearing blue pajamas, laying on his back. His head was towards the east and his feet towards the west shed opening. His arms were away from him. YFD was assessing him while A. McCray watched. So he's being assessed by YFD, and Andrea is standing there watching. I asked A. McCray to walk with me to the front of the residence while YFD personnel worked on her husband. I noticed A. McCray was agitated. She would shake, unable to keep her hands steady, and her voice broke every now and then. I find, and I'm just going to pause here, I find that to be interesting. I find that to be very interesting that he notes this. And of course, anyone would be shaken up. I find it interesting that she's agitated, though. He doesn't say that she's overwhelmed with tears, emotion. He says that she's agitated. There's something when you're utilizing that word to denote to denote how someone is responding to a tragedy, such as they're finding their spouse in an attempt that they were trying to commit suicide, that this person is agitated. That is a key word. Moving along, I asked A. McCray to tell me what happened. Due to A. McCray going back and forth, the following is a summary of my conversation with A. McCray. So he's saying that she was not able to, allegedly, this is how I'm taking this, that she's not able to give him a full account. She's going back and forth. She's probably not answering the questions. And as he stated, she's agitated and she's shaky. So here is a summary. For complete details, please refer to my body-worn camera surveillance video uploaded to Axon Evidence. So, at either rate, in order to get a full detail account, the body footage is going to be the best reference for material here. Now, when I brought this story up, it's no surprise to me that Andrea has gone radio silence on social media. She privated her TikTok. She has not posted on her not Instagram, but on her Facebook page, which holds 625,000 followers. She has not posted since the police report came out, where it had detailed her husband attempted suicide and not how she was trying to play things off. So let's get back into it. A. McCray stated she and her husband had been married for approximately 8 years. They have one child in common, but he raised her two older children. M. McCray suffered from, and these are all redacted. So looks like there's 3-4 things that he. I mean, you have to forgive me, I'm a little tired. Things that he has suffered from, but this is redacted. In 2019, he went to a physical therapist. This later part is redacted. When he went to the therapist, her husband's demeanor changed and he became someone she did not know. I find this very interesting that she's noting this. So she's saying that her husband went to a physical therapist and suddenly became someone different. Now, listen, physical therapy, I can't understand how that's going to change someone's mental. But hey, maybe you guys know more than me in the comments. I'm no doctor, so I can only speculate, right? She states when he went to the therapist, her husband's demeanor changed and he became someone she did not know. She said they always got along until after his therapy. Then he would change and become verbally abusive to her. At times, she would leave the residence because of the change. Now, this is very interesting to me because as I talk to you guys about social media, and when I posted the videos about Andrea and I posted my doubt, a lot of people, her supporters, I should say, came for me and was like, hey, you're in her business. You're mind your own business. She's fine. Their relationship is so beautiful. Well, here's a key thing to note. Now, the relationship doesn't seem as beautiful as she promoted it to be on social media. Why is she promoting the relationship to be beautiful on social media, which she still, up until a few days ago, she has never mentioned any problems in their relationship. She has never mentioned any issues. Why all of a sudden, when Vaughn attempts suicide, now she's mentioning that there's problems in the relationship? Okay, I looked through majority of her videos. I didn't see her mention anything about any disagreements. I see them, it's all as she says, positivity. So where are these disagreements happening? But let's get back to the police report. When he went to the therapist, her husband's demeanor changed and he became someone she did not know. She said they always got along until after his therapy, and then he would change and become verbally abusive to her. At times, she would leave the residence because of the change, and McCray finally stopped using the therapist he has had because of the change. This is redacted. He has had and this is redacted, becoming verbally abusive. She denied that they had arguments, only disagreements. But when the disagreements were severe, she would leave until his mood changed back to his normal loving self. So here's the thing. She's saying that they had disagreements and then she would leave. Would she take the children? Or would she just leave him with the children? This is not noted. This is something that I would want to know. Now, she denied they had arguments, only disagreements, and she would leave until the mood changed back to his normal loving self. When he had a blank, she would expect his attitude to change. I'm going to speculate that this redacted part says when he had a seizure. This is what I expect this to say. This may not be what it actually says, but this is what I think fits here. When he had a seizure, she would expect his attitude to change. She asked him to see a doctor. She did not know if he had ever made an appointment. And maybe this is not what it says, but this is what I'm speculating. The day prior, so this is the day prior, they had a disagreement. A. McCray said the disagreement was during the afternoon. And McCray slept in the bedroom while she slept on the couch. I'm going to be honest with you. I find that hard to believe that she slept on the couch willingly because of an argument. There's so much that I just don't believe in what she's saying. But A. McCray, she just doesn't seem like the type of person that says, hey, you know what? I'm sleeping on the couch. If anything, she seems like the type of person that says you're sleeping on the couch. And this is how I see it. A. McCray said the disagreement was during the afternoon, and McCray slept in the bedroom while she slept on the couch. He woke up at approximately 7:15 a.m. He went into the children's bathroom to clean up, as he usually does. She offered him tea, and he began to have a disagreement with her. She noticed he was more lethargic than normal. She said they tried to use organic products for well-being. Now, listen. This has been brought up a lot. Her use of organic, natural medicines has been brought up a lot and has been a huge concern for a lot of people. A lot of people have been just raising the red flag. Now, you guys have to remember, they became alkaline vegans, okay? And they have 3 children who I'm assuming is on the same diet, okay? From what I've watched in her previous videos, I have no reason to not believe or to not think that this is true. Let's see here. So getting back to that. Now she's stating that he wakes up more lethargic than normal. She said they try to use organic products for well-being. They use kratom, which is kratom. And you guys have to forgive me, I'm saying that wrong, which is an organic herbal medicine in the coffee family and has opioid properties. She believed he may have used more than normal and there was a buildup of kratom in his system, making him act that way. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry. My daughter just walked in. Yes, sweetheart. Would you like a drink of water? Come sit. You want to sit?
Hungry.
Okay, you want a snack? Okay, what would you like? Pretzels? Okay. So this is interesting to me because, like I said, they mentioned this. So the disagreement. So we're going through the disagreement. Now she's saying that he had a high level. He may have had a high level of the kratom in his. Is it kratom? Am I saying it right? Kratom. I'm assuming it's correct. She believed he may have used more than normal. Now, a lot of people noted in the comments that she's the one who's like literally was spoon feeding him. Hey, how's it going? She's the one who was literally spoon feeding him this. So this is what a lot of people were saying. Okay. Now, they disagreed with her Now, she believed he may have used more than normal, and there was a buildup of the kratom in his system, making him act that way. They disagreed with her trying to calm. They disagreed with her trying to calm him down. After disagreeing for a while, McCray went outside. McCray went outside to check on him and saw him hanging in the shed. She screamed, and her oldest daughter came outside to check on her. She told her daughter to go back inside the residence. She attempted to get him down using a wobbly chair within the shed, but was unable to. She obtained his knife and then cut him down. She called the police and began CPR as instructed. I asked McCray if we could call anyone for her, but she refused. She was told about Amberly's place and asked if she wanted a representative to come out, but she refused. She said she just wanted to get her children situated and then go to the hospital. I told her I would write an informational report to document the incident. I told her I would go back to the shed and document the area. I went into the shed and noticed a rope on the floor where McCray was. I collected the rope and later placed it into evidence. I noticed the chair she mentioned earlier. The main beam went across the center of the shed from the opening to the back of the shed. I videoed the shed from within using my body-worn camera. I drove to Yuma Regional Medical Center to check on McCray. I was told he was on a ventilator and getting scans on his head. I was later informed McCray had been flown out to a Phoenix hospital. I learned he was flown to the Veterans Hospital in Tucson. I called and learned McCray was still on a ventilator and medication, but still showed no sign of brain activity. They were going to take him off the ventilator on Friday, 5/27/2022, to see if he would breathe on his own. Case is for information NFAT. There is a lot to unpack here. There is a lot to unpack in this police report. There's just so much that when knowing this, seeing this police report and seeing how she was, it lets me know that she was a liar. It lets me know that the way that she portrayed herself, she portrayed her relationship so far has been full of lies. And you guys got to let me know your thoughts in the comments. But okay, honey, I'm on my way to get them now. But you guys have to let me know your thoughts in the comments, because the way I see it is that she has portrayed her relationship as an entire lie, and it's obvious that she lied. At this point, how can you say that she didn't lie? How can you say that these are not lies? She never once, and I'm not saying people have to bring up their marital issues or what have you, but this, now all of a sudden she's stating in this police report that there were issues, that they were arguing, and he was taking this and wasn't measuring at all in all of this. I find this very hard to believe. Now this next page just gives a little bit more information on the evidence. Nothing much to offer here. The cops probably believed her without doing a proper investigation for foul play. I agree. She probably put it in his food. I listen, she said physical therapy is what made him act different. Yes, it was the K. Absolutely. It was definitely not physical therapy. I can't understand how physical therapy made him act like a totally different person. I can't see how that happened. So you're looking at this and you're reviewing what she's done and what she's saying. Everything was a lie. What was true? Now, we know that, the way she detailed what happened by, not talking about it, that this isn't exactly that it wasn't the loving home that she was trying to portray. You know what? It could have been, but we have right now, as they say on the police report, that there is always room for human error. The police report does not. It was written before any physical, before any other footage was released. So was written before the police officer reviewed any footage. So that could totally be the case. Did you say he had no marks on his neck? I did not say that. That was not detailed in the police report. So I did not say that, but that's what somebody else said. And I'm not going to show too much about it because I'm going to go to the public group, but I wanted people to see the police report. I wanted Dre and her followers to know, her supporters to know that they have been lied to. I want Dre to know that people are on to her, because this is what I believe. I do not believe her account of what happened. I do not believe what she's saying transpired. I just don't believe that at all. And you're not going to get me to, you're not going to get me to believe that. I got a lot of slack from her followers who told me this was none of my business. But as you can see here, this is not the loving woman she portrayed herself to be. This is not the loving woman she portrayed herself to be. And now we have a little bit more information. We feel a little bit more comfortable as to understanding why she may have been preventing his family from seeing their son. I mean, this is crazy. This is this is for a woman who constantly speaks of Jehovah and all of this. This woman, in my opinion, is the cause and the reason. There is so much more to uncover here, you guys. There is so much more to uncover here. And this, to me, you cannot recount and look at these. You cannot look at these videos as truth. You cannot look at these videos as truth, because now she's saying that in the police report that they were fighting and arguing all the time. We know that it was not how she is playing it off to be. She's playing herself off to be this devoted wife who wants her husband to wake up. And in actuality, I don't believe that's what's happening. I don't believe that's what's happening at all. She went live for a long time, I think last week, to clear up the rumors and drama. I did see that live. I watched portions of that live, and she didn't clear up any rumors. She didn't clear up any drama. In fact, with the police report, it's obvious that she didn't clear up anything. She was more heavier, and then all of a sudden she was super skinny. I'm not saying, now this happened May 23rd. I'm not saying that the police don't already speculate that something is up, right? But But it's one of those things, without a victim, right? Without an actual, and when I say victim, I mean without a body, in the sense of she's keeping him, she's forcing him to be alive at this moment. This is what I believe. She's forcing him to be alive at this moment. And in some way, I believe she does think that he's going to wake up. I believe she truly believes that. I also believe that she put him there. Some way, some shape or form. She may have not tied, the noose around his neck. She may not have put it around his neck, but the is it kratom? I'm not sure how I think it's kratom, or whatever it is. I believe she was dosing him, over medicating him, in an attempt to help with his seizures. There's video evidence where she states that she's his doctor. He doesn't go to doctors. She does his medications. She does this. She does that. I don't for a second believe that police report in which she states that they were constantly arguing and that he was the root of the arguments. I don't believe that at all. If anything, he may wanted to no longer do the alkaline vegan diet. He may wanted to actually see a doctor. He may actually wanted to see someone and to talk to someone. Someone said, was there any, there was in the police report that I looked at, they did not note any neck injuries. So they did not note, they did not note that. So I find that interesting as well. The police officer did not put that in the police report. They did collect the rope, but they did not, the rope at the time, when the rope was collected, or when they did not state that the rope was around his neck or anything like that. I find it interesting that it's noted that there was a wobbly chair in the shed, all of this stuff, all of these other things that she could speak clearly on, but not so much on everything else. So once again, you guys, I just wanted to hop on, read the police report, encourage you guys to reach out, and as this person here, reach out to the Yuma Police Department and get justice. We have to speak up, because I don't for a second believe that she had nothing to do with this. Like I said, she may not have put him physically on the chair. I do believe she had a hand in this, and her operating as someone who was treating him, and suddenly acting as if she is his doctor, and this person, he's having seizures. Okay, he's having seizures, and this is how she decided to treat it.